This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So we'll have a small recap of what we have known yesterday. So we have learned a little bit about uh, Mental Health Act 1987, and we have also one recent Mental Health Act 2017. But most of the time it is the same. Only a few vocabularies have been changed, like mental illness, mental health establishments, mental health care. So these are some of the terminologies that has been used in recent Mental Health uh, Act 2017. But most of the gist or the main points have been retained there. So we'll see salient features. So the Mental Health Act was passed in 1987. And the main objective of passing this Mental Health Act is to consolidate and amend the laws relating to the mentally ill persons for the treatment, better treatment and care of the mentally ill person, and the management of property, for better management of a mentally ill person property, and then their overall protection in the society and in the hospitals. And this Mental Health Act is a social welfare legislature, and then this act has repealed the Indian Lunacy Act, which is the previous act. So till 1987, the Indian Lunacy Act 1912 is um, under the work, but once the Mental Health Act 1987 has came into place, it has been repealed. Repealed means cancelled. So it changes certain objectionable or stigmatic terms which are present in Indian Lunacy Act, and it has changed into more uh, present day situations. We can know in the term in World Lunacy Act, the mental hospitals terminology is used, whereas in the new Mental Health Act, psychiatric hospitals terminology is used. In old, it is lunatic person. Now we call it as mentally ill person. In old, if a criminal in jail or in a person is having suffering from any mental illness, in the old terminology we call it as criminally lunatic person. Now we call It is 3 months imprisonment plus 200 rupees fine, and for second offense it is 6 months imprisonment plus 1000 rupees fine, and if he still has not renewed, means he has not taken the license, means every day 100 rupees extra penalty he has to after the second offense. And then what does this Mental Health Act has done means it has established inspecting officers so that they can regularly inspect the psychiatric hospitals, and then they can give feedback to the state government or central government or licensing or whatever it is. So regular inspection of psychiatric hospitals by inspecting officers. So Mental Health Act has ordained a terminology called entity called inspecting officers, where in order to know the psychiatric hospitals are working properly in accordance with the act or not, and then they will again give back the feedback to the state government or licensing authority. And what these inspecting officers will do, they will inspect the psychiatric hospitals at any time of the day, and they can inspect any ward, they can inspect any records of the hospitals, and they can talk to any patients, psychiatric patients, and then they can give the feedback to the authorities. So inspecting officers, which is governed by the state government or licensing. So if the working of the hospital is now found satisfactory, he will report to the licensing authority, who will take appropriate action. And then another thing is visitors. So Mental Health Act also has amended a term called visitors, appointment of visitors, and monthly inspection by them. So visitors, normally 5 or more visitors are there to the psychiatric hospitals, and then among these 5, 1 should be a medical officer, 2 should be social workers, and 2 can be any other. And then what these visitors will do, these visitors every month, maybe 3 or more visitors will join together and inspect any psychiatric hospitals and examine every minor who is below 18 years of age. Every minor who is a mentally ill person who is admitted in the psychiatric hospital, or in that case any other mentally ill person, and then they can examine them. And then regular visits by the inspecting officers and the visitors is to make sure that the psychiatric hospitals are run smoothly. So, and then this Mental Health Act also have envisaged proper admission and discharge of the patients. They have written some guidelines how to admit a patient, mentally ill person, and how to discharge a mentally ill person. And then penalty for improper reception of mentally ill person. Reception is nothing but admission to the psychiatric ward, mostly by the order of the magistrate. So sometimes the relatives or the husband or wife will complain, or even a police officer can complain to a magistrate about a mentally ill person in some locality, and then the magistrate will pass a reception order to keep the mentally ill person in a hospital and give treatment. So that is called reception order. So in a mentally ill person is improperly admitted, detained in the psychiatric hospital, the punishment is 2 years imprisonment with a fine of 1000 rupees, or it can be both. So up to now we have studied in the previous class. Now we will see what are the restraints of a mentally ill person. Restraints means to contain, so to hold a mentally ill person so that he will not be harmful to himself, and also he will not be harmful to the society. So restraints of a mentally ill person refers to lawful restraint of a mentally ill person who is danger to himself or the others. So it is a lawful restraint of a mentally ill person who is a danger to himself or for others. And we have 3 subheadings in this. what is an immediate restraint, and then restraint in a hospital, admission in the psychiatric hospital, and then discharge of a mentally ill person. So we will see 1 and 2, and then we'll have first one, immediate restraint. Immediate restraint means taking a mentally unsound person in immediate control, whose illness was exacerbated acutely and who has suddenly become violent. So immediate restraint is to immediate control of the mentally ill person who has become maniac or who is very violent, having a violent behavior, and his mental disease has acutely exacerbated. In that cases, immediately we have to contain that person. Immediately we have to, and this is done under section 81 IPC. This says that it is an act done to prevent other harm. So we are containing a mentally ill person just to contain or to prevent harm to himself and to others. So what are the conditions we use for immediate restraint? Conditions when immediate restraint is required is illnesses where a person may become dangerous to himself, or second one to others, or third one is he may wastefully spend his own property, his money, and then that of the others also. So immediate restraint of a mentally ill person is done when he becomes dangerous to himself, number one, and then when he becomes dangerous to others, number two, and then number three is when he is spending his money unnecessarily and wastefully, number three, and then number four, when he is spending the money of the others wastefully or unnecessarily. So in these four cases, immediate restraint is done. And what are the illnesses in which immediate restraint is done? Means it is done in delirium tremens, it is done in mania, and then organic delirium. Delirium tremens, mania, and then organic delirium. So what is the purpose of this immediate restraint? Purpose is to prevent any injury to himself or to others or to the property, and then to prevent wasteful expenditure of his own or the other person's property. So mainly to prevent injury and to prevent wasteful expenditure. What are the prerequisites for the contain a person? To control or for the immediate restraint of a person means informed consent of the guardian must be obtained. So whenever you're restraining any mental ill person, you have to inform the guardian of the person. He can be a father, he can be a mother, he can be a relative, whoever it may be. So a guardian's consent must be taken before restraining a person. Suppose if the guardian is not available, if the mother and father are not available for you to take the consent, then you can restrain him till as long as the danger exists. So you cannot restrain for a prolonged time. Only till the time of the danger is there, you can restrain him. Then you have to leave it, and only after taking the consent from the guardians, you can proceed further. So if the consent not obtainable for any reason, person can be restrained without consent, but only as long as the danger exists. So what is the method of immediate restraint we use? Means by safely locking in a room under immediate personal care of an adult. So we will lock him in a room which doesn't have any projections, and then we will have him one attendant so that he can take him the care. So what is the method you use for the immediate restraint? Means by safely locking in a room under immediate personal care of an adult. Even when a dangerously mental ill person has to be restrained, it must be ensured that he is not subject to any indignity. So physical and mental indignity, and then cruelty like beating him up and binding him in chains, etc., should be avoided. So this is an offense. So if you cannot keep a mentally ill person in chains to the legs or the hands, or tied to a pole, or beating. So only simple locking in a room with some personal care is what is immediate restraint. or restraining a person. So if anybody is found with chains and then tied to a pole, means it is an offense under section 81 IPC of MHA, Mental Health Act 1987. So next one is, so that is the case of immediate restraint. Immediate restraint, we have known that we have to take the guardian's permission, consent should be taken. Suppose the guardian is not there, then we have to we can contain the mentally ill person without consent, but only as long as the danger exists. And then the method used is we will simply lock him in a room with some attendant to take care of him. And then we have to proceed further for any admission, or we can apply to the magistrate court so that the magistrate judge will direct what to do with this mentally ill person. So next is admission into the psychiatric hospital. How to admit a mentally ill person in a psychiatric hospital. So first one is admission on a voluntary basis. So suppose if the patient is a major, if the person is greater than 18 years, where he knows that he is suffering from some mental disorder, the person himself know that he is having some mental illness, and then he wants to get cured of it. So he himself voluntarily will go to a psychiatric hospital. He gets examined by a psychiatrist or a medical officer, and then he asks for an admission there, and then he can get into the admission. This is one method. Another is if the case is a minor. In that case, the guardian has to give a request to the medical officer of the psychiatric hospital in order to get admission. So if the person is a major, any person greater than 18 years who considers himself a mentally ill person and desires to be admitted to any psychiatric nursing home for treatment may request the doctor in charge for being admitted as a voluntary patient. If he is a minor, less than 18 years, the request has to be made by the guardian. So what is the procedure? So the doctor in charge, once either voluntary patients or a minor or a major, when anybody is requesting for admission, the doctor will make an inquiry. Inquiry nothing but an examination within 24 hours of the application of admission. And then if he finds that the person needs treatment in the psychiatric hospital, then he will get admitted. Otherwise, he will not. So he may deem fit within 24 hours, and if satisfied the applicant or minor requires treatment, he may admit it. Otherwise, he will just have an OP basis treatment. Next one is admission under special circumstances, where instead of we are told that admission on a voluntary basis, where the patient himself will come voluntarily that he is suffering from some illness. It can be a minor or a major. Here, if suppose the relative complaints or relative puts wants the mentally ill person to be admitted in the mentally ill psychiatric wards, or if it can be an husband, it can be a wife, it can be a relative, it can be a friend. So wherever it is, so if the other person other than the mentally ill person is requesting the psychiatric hospital in charge to get admitted, then these are the procedures we have to follow. So if a mentally ill person is unable to express his willingness for admission, the patient may be admitted for up to 90 days, 3 months. So up to 90 days on application by relative or a friend. And then application should be in the prescribed form. It should be accompanied by certificates of 2 medical practitioners. So if a relative wants the mentally ill person to get admitted, means he must take 2 medical certificates from 2 medical doctors. It can be an allopathy doctor, it can be a homeopathy doctor, it can be also an Ayurvedic doctor. But among these 2 doctors, one should be a government doctor. And then between these 2 certificates should be only within 10 days of examination. So we cannot take 1 certificate this month and 1 certificate next month. Only the 2 certificates should be taken within a period of 10 days. So each doctor should examine separately the mentally ill person within 10 days prior to the application. So if the above certificates are not attached. Suppose if the relative could not find this attachment of two medical certificates, then the in charge doctor of the psychiatric hospitals can appoint two doctors working in the hospital to examine him and to review the certificates. So that is the procedure for special circumstances where the mentally ill person is not able to or not willing, is unwilling for admission, but the relative or a friend is having and applying for admission for the case of mentally ill person. So it should be of 90 days admission, and then you should contain two certificates, medical certificates, of which one should be from the government hospital or government doctor, and then these uh, two medical certificates should be within 10 days, should be examined within 10 days by the doctors before the application for admission. Reception order and application. What is reception order? I told you reception order is order passed by the magistrate in order to for admission to the psychiatric hospital. So reception order means a magisterial order for a mentally ill person to be received, admitted, and kept in the hospital. So reception order, suppose if a prisoner is there, so prisoner, he may end up in depression, he may have some psychological effects, so he may be suffering from some mental illness. So in that case, the magistrate will take hold, and then he will order the psychiatric in charge hospital medical officer in order to receive this mentally ill prisoner and then treat him. So that is known as reception order. So reception order, it can be of application by the doctor in charge. Suppose if the doctor thinks that treatment is needed, so whenever a reception order is given for admission of a mentally ill person to the psychiatric hospital, the doctor will examine, and then he will put an application to the magistrate that the treatment is needed for greater than 6 months, or detention is necessary for a patient's own safety or that of the others. Then he make an application to the magistrate for a reception order. So he can again, so as the reception order is there from the magistrate to the doctor for admission, the doctor will apply that he needs treatment for 6 months or so and so, and he will specify the disease, and then he will order the magistrate, he will request the magistrate to put a reception order. Next one is application by the husband or wife or relative. So if the husband or wife of the patient can make an application to the magistrate, in this also the reception order can be passed. So if there is no husband or no wife, or if they are ill or absent or cannot make an application for whatsoever reason, any relative of the patient can make an application. So reception order can be done one by a medical officer. Another is any other person can do it. He can be an husband, he can be a wife, he can be a relative. Mostly husband and wife should be make an application to the magistrate. If the husband and wife were not there or could not make any application, then any relative or a friend also can make, and then you have to suggest why the husband and wife is not able to make the application. So he has to give the reasons why the immediate relative is not able to give the application, and then why you are giving. So all persons making an application under this provision must be greater than 18 years. So all persons who are making an application for reception order should be greater than 18 years and must have seen the patient within 14 days of making an application. So they should be a major greater than 18 years and they should be seeing the patient for a period of hour within 14 days of making an application. Again, here also the application should contain two medical certificates, and then in these two medical certificates, one should be a government doctor, and then each medical practitioner should and mostly within 10 days of applying for this reception order. And the certificate should state that what this medical certificate should state, that mentally ill person is suffering from a mental disorder of such a nature and such a degree. So what is it? Is a mild, moderate, or severe? And what is the mental illness? So the medical certificate should contain these diseases, the nature of the disease, and also the degree of the disease, whether it's mild disease or moderate disease or severe. And then is treatment in psychiatric hospital is required, and that such detention is necessary in the interest of the health and personal safety of the patient or for the protection of the health. So what is the procedure? Is when an application is made by the doctor, the magistrate would pass a reception order if he is satisfied. Next, when the application is made by the husband or wife, then the magistrate would consider statements made in the application, and also by looking at the medical certificates. He may personally examine the eligible mentally ill person, and if he is satisfied, if the magistrate is satisfied that the patient needs treatment, he would immediately pass reception order to get admitted into the psychiatric hospital. If not, he shall fix a date for further consideration. He will give notice of the date fixed to the applicant and then to any other relative, and then at that date he can order for the reception order, or even he can make a doctor to examine the mentally ill person there itself, and then he can decide whether a reception order can be passed or not. So till the application is disposed, the magistrate would pass order for proper care and custody of eligible mentally ill person. So on the date fixed for disposal of the application, the magistrate would consider the application in camera. Very important. So all mentally ill persons procedure trial should be done in camera in the presence of an applicant, eligible mentally ill person himself, and then a representative appointed by the eligible mentally ill person, or any other person whom the magistrate thinks is fit to be there. Example, he can allow a doctor to be there, he can allow a neighbor or a friend, whoever the magistrate thinks is fit, he can make the person to stay there. So all the trial should be of a mentally ill person should be there in camera, and then eligible mentally ill person should be there, the applicant should be there, either it can be husband or a wife or a doctor or whatever, and the representative appointed by the eligible mentally ill person, maybe a lawyer or maybe anybody, and then any other person whom the magistrate thinks fit can be staying there. So after listening to all parties, the magistrate would decide whether the cost of such inquiry should be charged from the applicant or from the mentally ill person. If the application is dismissed, the magistrate shall record reasons for the dismissal and shall give a copy to the applicant. So this is how the procedure is there. So a doctor or a husband or a wife or a relative will apply application for the reception order of the mentally ill person, and then a mentally ill person, the magistrate will decide, sometimes can examine the mentally ill person there itself in the court, and then can pass a reception order. Suppose he is not able to do it, he will further order for a date fixed for the hearing, and then on that particular date he will make everyone to come, like doctor or applicant and then the mentally ill person, and then he will hear every argument, and then if he is deemed fit that this person needs treatment, then he will pass a mental reception order, or if he is not satisfied, then he will dismiss the case, telling the reasons, and then he will give the copy to the applicant. So this is a brief procedure how a reception order is passed by the magistrate regarding a mentally ill person. So reception order on production of mentally ill person before magistrate. So this is in which case reception order is produced means, one is wandering and dangerously mentally ill person. So a person who is wandering in the society and who is creating violence and creating problem to the society, and who is mentally ill person, in that case a police officer can in charge police station can apply for reception order to the magistrate. That is one case. And then the information police officer would immediately inform him while he is being detained. Even the relatives should be informed about this. So detention is by a police officer. He should be immediately detained by a police officer in charge of a police station who is wandering. WMIP means wandering mentally ill person, and then DMIP means dangerously mentally ill person who is dangerous to himself or to others. And the police officer would immediately inform him while he is being detained if the wandering mentally ill person or the dangerously understanding, then he will inform the relatives or friends will be informed, and then within 24 hours this dangerously mentally ill person or wandering mentally ill person will be produced before the magistrate for detention. So procedure is also the same in respect to examination. The magistrate will examine personally the mentally ill person and cause him to be examined by a doctor or make any other relevant inquiries. So in the respect of admission, doctor must certify the person to be mentally ill. If he feels that patient may be malingering, means acting, and he needs sustained observation, or there is some other difficulty in on-the-spot diagnosis in the courtroom, he may say to the magistrate that he would pass a temporary order for detention for observation period of up to 10 days. So that also can be done by the doctor. Suppose if the magistrate asks the doctor to make a diagnosis at the courtroom, so the doctor will examine for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then if the doctor is not able to make the diagnosis of the mental illness, then the doctor can request the magistrate to keep the mentally ill person in the hospital for observation for 10 days. So this is a easy method. Whatever we have studied now is kept in a flowchart method so that we can easily understand thing. So immediate restraint is done. So this is nothing but a review of what we have studied now. All the theory I have kept in a flowchart so that it can be easily understood. When we will do immediate restraint of mentally ill person, if the mentally ill person is dangerous to himself, others, and also if the person is suffering from delirium due to some disease, and also in delirium tremens, we will do a immediate restraint, immediate control in a lock in a closed room, and then we have to take the consent from the lawful guardians if he is a minor, and major not necessary. So done under personal care of attendants, it is lawful as long as the danger exists. So how to admit in a psychiatric hospitals? One is admission on a voluntary basis. If the person is a major greater than 18 years of age, he himself voluntarily will request the medical officer in charge of the psychiatric hospital, and then the in charge medical officer will examine the mentally ill person within 24 hours, and then if he feels that person requires treatment, if the medical officer feels that the person requires treatment, then he will admit the patient. This is admission on a voluntary basis. Admission under special circumstances. So mentally ill person who cannot give consent because he doesn't understand, there the application can be done by a relative or a friend, and then this application should be accompanied by 2 medical certificates, of which one should be from a government medical officer, and then based on this he can be admitted into the psychiatric hospital for a period of 90 days. Reception order and application. So medical officer in charge of psychiatric hospitals gives an application to the magistrate. If the treatment is required to be continued for greater than 6 months, then he will ask the magistrate to pass a reception order. And for the safety of health and property of mentally ill person, the doctor can request the magistrate to pass a reception order so that the mentally ill person can be kept in the psychiatric hospital. Application by the prescribed form to the magistrate. So the husband, the wife, a relative can apply through the magistrate so that the mentally ill person can be given treatment or contained or restricted in the psychiatric hospital, who should be a major. So the husband, wife, and relative should be a major greater than 18 years and should have seen the patient within 14 days of submitting the application. And then also here also they should have 2 medical certificates. Among that, one should be examined by the government doctor, and then these 2 certificates should be within 10 days of prior to giving an application. So the certificates must suggest the admission of the patient, and it should suggest what is the nature and the degree of illness, mental illness that the person is suffering. After receiving the magistrate, if the magistrate is satisfied, then he can immediately pass the reception order, or he may fix another date for consideration of the petition. And then on the date of petition, if again he is satisfied, he will pass a reception order which is valid for 30 days. If it is not satisfied, then he will refuse the application, giving the reasons for dismissal, and then he will give a copy to the application. And then reception order on production of mentally ill person before magistrate by police officer. So officer in charge of police station, he may apply to the magistrate who is a mentally ill person who is wandering, who is dangerously mentally ill person, to the magistrate, and then sends for examination within 24 hours. So and after presenting to the magistrate, if the magistrate is satisfied, he may pass the reception order so that he can be admitted in the psychiatric hospital, or he can, if he is not satisfied, he will hand over the person for care and treatment by the relatives or friends who executes a bond. So this is, and then admission after judicial inquisition. So this is another thing for the properties, where a mentally ill person is possessing a property, application by relatives can be kept to the magistrate, where if the mentally ill person is having a business or a property, all that should be taken out care by the applicant. So by the relative or husband or wife, whatever. So the husband or wife or a relative will apply to the magistrate in order to, so that he can take care of the business of the mentally ill person. And if the magistrate is satisfied with the reasons of this relative, then he may, if satisfied, he may pass reception order for the mentally ill person to get admitted, and then he will make the in charge manager, he will put some in charge manager to take care of the property of the mentally ill person. So admission of the mentally ill prisoner is also have the same criteria, where the magistrate will pass a reception order, and also admission of the escaped mentally ill person within a period of 1 month is also in the same procedure is followed. So these are the things. And then discharge. So these are the procedures how we will admit a mentally ill person. One is by doctor, another is by relative, another is by husband, a relative, another is by medical officer, another is a in charge officer of the police station, inspector. So these are the procedures how we will follow for admission of a mentally ill person to the psychiatric hospital. How do you discharge a mentally ill person? Discharge is also, it can be a voluntary. Suppose if the patient is admitted into the psychiatric ward on a voluntary basis. Suppose if he feels that, if the patient is a major, he is greater than 18 years, and he feels that his disease has been cured, then he can apply to the medical officer in charge for discharge. And then the medical officer in charge will examine the patient within 72 hours. He will form a board within 72 hours, and then he will decide whether to discharge the patient or to continue for another 90 days. So this is how the procedure of discharge is there. And then admission by relatives is application again to the magistrate has to be given. So magistrate will inquire the in charge of the psychiatric hospital, and then the magistrate will decide whether the person can be discharged from the hospital or not. Another procedure is bonds. By executing a bond by the relative or friend, that they will take proper care in the home, in their home, then also the magistrate can pass a discharge from the psychiatric. So these are some of the procedures how we use, and then responsibilities of a criminal ill person, we will take this in the next class. So thank you for joining. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. So everything, this is only the procedure how we follow for admission of a mentally ill person, either wandering, dangerously wandering, or in home, or in our societies. So this is the normal procedure how we follow, that either doctor can make a application, or a relative, or a husband, or a wife, or a friend, and then a police officer can make a request. Suppose if the mentally ill person is voluntary and then he knows that what is being, he can directly get admitted. If he is minor, then guardian should take care, should give a consent. So go through this thing. This is the normal procedure of admission into the psychiatric wards. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining. If you don't have any queries, we will do it. Thank you.